got that back. Okay, guys. Let's start game. 0 serving 0.
That was
1
the
serving
opening
0.
serve there. And you see Juan Santos track that ball down, but it floats out the court. Now Sampson is serving. This is rally scoring.
1 serving 1.
Backhanded get right there from Samson Hernandez, and then the #1 player, Juan Santos, pushes it out the left
2
side
serving
wall.
1.
A little bad bounce right there off that molding on the side, and now Samson Hernandez is serving.
2 serving 2.
Score is altogether at 2. It's 2 games to 15. Rally scoring tiebreaker played to 15, and that ball just powered out of the court from Juan Ibanez Santos.
3 serving 2.
You might have heard that presentation, but he is currently leading 1,465 points to Samson's 1,460. It's the tightest race that we've seen. And a terrible hand air right there from Samson Hernandez.
4 serving 2.
Samson making another error.
5 serving 2.
Score here is 5-2. As you heard from the referee. Ibanez was 17 when he started this Player Cup Championship, and now he's an 18-year-old still in high school. And he's very cool, calm, and collected. As you can see from his face. Very unassuming. That's a huge setup right there. Samson just floats it back, and Ibanez takes that real cool stroke over there and slides it into the left wall, and there is a timeout. We're also going to take a timeout. This is the men's finals of the Big Ball 3-Wall Cup Championship Series. We'll be back in just a bit at racefor8.com.
Okay, time's in. Ball. 8 serving 2. Nine serving 2.
Score is 9-2. Young Santos wearing the blue shirt, making a little hand air there. Izzy, it looked like he kind of rushed that shot just a little bit. He wanted to go in that vicinity, but he got his hand through the strike zone a little too quick, and Samson makes him pay. 2 straight points now for Hernandez.
4 serving 9.
Juan Santos, with very small gestures, is highly technical using his hand, somewhat akin to a small ball player, where they use just fingers, hand, wrist action. It appears he hits it flat, but he's really consistent with virtually everything he does.
10 serving
really
4.
Pressure. That was definitely a very rare miscue on that shot right there.
That's a smart shot right there. Obviously not smart enough.
Samson holding control of the middle. I asked opinions about the match to some of the people in the crowd, and
5 serving 10.
they favor Samson Hernandez based on the dimensions of the court. They feel that the size of the court gives his power an advantage, and it takes away some of the
6 serving 10.
skill set that Juan Santos has from a larger court, namely like big lobs about 25 feet high on a court that may be
11
50 feet
serving
long.
6.
And so this one, the court dimensions may favor Samson, being that he's from Los Angeles, whereas in great backdoor shot by Samson right there. Whereas Juan
Timeout.
Santos
Second
hails
timeout.
from
1
Orange
minute.
County, where they generally have larger size courts.
Well, also,
7
Juan
serving 11.
Santos is a two-wall server specialist, and he likes that second wall, and we've taken that rule away here, so you can only serve to hit the front wall and then into play. You can't hit the side wall, and he's actually really good at that. So you hear the crowd saying, well, this court, because of what you just stated about Samson Hernandez, but also it's a deficit for Juan Santos. But look at the score, and frankly, you know, I've talked to the players in the crowd. They've been wrong with their predictions all weekend long.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of errors in where, I mean, we're talking about lopsided judgments from these players who said, well, Gabino is easily going to win this, and it just was the other way around all weekend long. It's just something about Vegas
Time in.
changes the odds.
Yeah,
7
sure
serving
it does.
11.
They're playing under a different format. You got guys coming from all over the country to be here, namely because of the format that's being used, where it's a one-wall serve. So
That's where Samson is
great shot.
unbelievably skilled, where he can twist his legs and
8
make
serving 11.
yeah,
both of his legs planted and then hit that ball.
yeah,
That's
he generates a lot of torque on that position, on that move right there.
And now it's
Great
starting to
shot.
get edgy here out in the crowd. You hear a real quiet crowd. This is the biggest one we've
9
seen
serving
even
11.
from last night. Look at all the people we have around here, Izzy.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised at the crowd. This is Vegas. Everybody wants to have fun and party on a Saturday night, but it looks like they're really turned up for this right now. It's pretty early in the morning.
10
These guys'
serving
body
11.
clocks don't seem to be affected on the court by the time that we're playing right here. Generally, everybody's playing at 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock at night. That goes against the body clock of playing at, say, here, 10 in the morning.
Timeout. First
You know,
timeout.
11 in the
1
morning.
minute.
And there will be a timeout for young Juan
12
Santos
serving
taking
10.
that first timeout of this match. Look at the crowd as we sweep around with that camera angle. They are packed watching this handball match. My name is Dave Vincent, alongside Izzy Rivera from New York, flying in special. You know, we're talking about how these players play on individual matchups. You might see a Rudy Cruz versus Gabino Velasquez, and you think to yourself, well, you know, Gabby has the advantage. They play at the local park, but then you see there's an upset there. But the thing that happened right before that was both of those players were pushed by New York players who came in with a different style of game, and they, you know, what you don't remember is what road they went on before they got to that individual matchup and what tiebreakers or, you know, how long their matches lasted. Some of these guys are also playing 3 ways, going into one wall. They're doing pickup matches on that one wall show court. So all that stuff weighs in. Plus, then you throw in the Vegas lights, and you know how that goes.
Yeah, the spotlight
time's
makes
in.
a difference. Yeah, you're right
12
about
serving
that. A lot of
10.
these guys were actually very interested in the one wall category. They may not everybody enter the one wall, but they were playing a lot of pickup games, and it took a toll on them. There was some nice big
13
crowds kind of
serving
surrounding
10.
those games, and they understand what it is to have a different aspect, a different dimension to the different positioning that they may need to take. When you combine that with the fact that they're going to be playing in the tournament with their general game, which is
Game point
3-wall, this
14,
right
serving
here
10.
would be considered like a short court or a medium-sized 3-wall court. You will see a different set of results.
Point.
And there it is.
Juan Santos taking game 1.
Juan takes down
5 minutes, guys.
Samson Hernandez by the score of 15-10 in the first game. You go ahead and continue your thought there.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see a lot. I mean, if I was a betting man here in Vegas, I would have lost every bet I would have made. I misjudged every game with the exception of maybe one. And yeah, I guess you would say that all the back and forth between the 2 games has a lot to do with it. The format has a lot to do with it. These guys are neutralized by the fact that they can't use 2-wall serves. Now, I would expect Samson Hernandez to come out the favorite in this particular match right here, because he uses more 1-wall serves than Juan Santos does. Juan Santos, like you said, is very seasoned at 2-wall serves right there. All right. Juan Santos is really seasoned at using 2-wall serves, and when I ask all the top players that he plays against, what is it about this guy? This guy, he doesn't seem to be doing anything. So they say, hey man, it's his serve. It's his serve, you know? So for him to come out on top and take a lead like this and stay authoritative, over Samson Hernandez, who puts on the pressure in a court with these size dimensions that favor him, is really surprising.
You're watching the World 3-Wall Ball Outdoor Handball, Racquetball, Paddleball Championships. This here, though, is the singles finals, the Players' Cup Championship of Big Ball 3-Wall, with the World Players of Handball and, of course, World Outdoor Racquetball teaming up with the 3wallball.com folks. My name is Dave Vincent. We have Izzy Rivera, who is also filming this match as well, Izzy. And you back home have a great video program on your internet site. Let's talk about that. You are trying to bring people together, maybe to learn more about handball, maybe to understand what the game is all about. What is the name of that website?
The name of the website is impactpro.us. Generally, the site is basically a way to promote the game, to bring players together, to organize different communities, different areas, to let each other know where they're at, to let people that are already involved in the game, fans and connoisseurs, to appreciate, assess, and analyze the skill sets of the top handball players in the world.
Okay, time's
Now,
in.
we're back
Second
in.
game. 0 serving 0.
0 serve 0 was Juan Santos winning the first one, 15-10.
Great tomahawk by Sanson right there. He's taking control with that. Yeah, he's got the front. You see
Ooh.
that? Yeah, it all started with the tomahawk right there. I saw it coming. Great 4-hit combo. That was basically
1 serving 0.
something that a good boxer would have pulled off right there. I saw it coming a mile away. Once he gets you running left to right, he's a really good pattern player, Samson. And what he does is, it looks like everything is pre-programmed. You see that? That's great. Everything he does is, I mean, it's like a video game character. It's like he runs like on a manual.
2 serve 0.
Yeah. Juan Santos, on the other hand, seems to do everything spontaneously. And he makes, you see that great shot out the back door. Juan Santos appears to be doing everything very spontaneously with a lot of technique in his hands. And so it's surprising. You just never know what's going to happen with him.
1 serving 2.
Score here is 1-2. Santos wearing the blue, Samson wearing the black. A lot of these players have hung around.
Great shot.
A lot of the fans have hung around here in Vegas when normally they probably would have started driving
3
back
serving
home.
1.
Yeah.
But they're here to watch this finals.
Yeah, this is actually
What a great day, too,
this
Izzy.
is actually a great matchup between two big brand names in the game. Samson Hernandez being considered the best all-round multi-wall big ball player in the
2
world.
serving 3.
And Juan Santos being the new guy, the young kid, threatening his position at that #1 spot. Actually, he is #1 right now with the points, you know. But being that we have the point system with rankings for the WPH, this is, you couldn't ask for a better matchup. This is between the #1 and 2 guy in the event, in the entire pro stop season. So, I mean, right here, what you'll have is a definitive answer to the question that started when it all happened.
And I believe if Santos
4
were
serving
to
3.
go on to win the Players' Cup, I think that we have to start giving him that respect that he is the #1 player, because right now, even though Samson is #2, and there's been many times throughout the season where Juan Santos was leading by a greater margin, they were still saying he's the best player in Southern California, talking about Samson Hernandez.
Yeah, it's hard to shake a reputation that you've built over the course of years. Samson, you know, he's without a doubt a long-standing champion for years. He's very young. I'm not sure. I think he's about 22, 23 years old. But he's been at this skill level, at this rank, for
5 serving 4.
probably almost a decade. I'm not sure. And, I mean, it's unanimous. Everyone agrees that Samson's the best. So just even if you beat him for a tournament, 2 tournaments, that reputation is not going to be vaporized with that. You've got to put in work. But right now, Juan Santos is the man that's putting in that work. He seems to show up, and when he shows up, he generally comes, and he's been proven to be successful most of the pro stops that has happened.
This is the Players' Cup Championship. Juan Santos leads in the rankings, 1,465 points to Samson Hernandez and his 1,460.
30 seconds.
Which means that the winner of this will be the pure champion, because there's double points awarded here. It wouldn't really matter.
Yeah, well, you know, exactly. The points wouldn't have made a difference at this point. These guys are so close in the point system. But, you know, that's the wonderful thing about the WPH. They basically organized this, brought it all together. And now history has begun with the WPH. Whatever big ball, multi-wall handball has happened, WPH has organized it and put a true history behind it. And now there won't be any more.
Look at that get.
Great.
2 in a row.
Great shot.
And then
by
a
Juan Santos.
closeout shot right there from
exactly what the
Juan
fans,
Santos.
Yeah, this is going against what all the fans' expectation
6
was.
serving 4.
They expected Samson Hernandez to be favored due to this kind of pressure, the power aspect of the game. But Juan Santos is having no problem holding up and even returning the favor.
7 serving 4.
7 serves 4.
Great serve, great return. And he'll go down the line. You'll always see him. He plays a great fundamental game, Samson Hernandez.
Well, Sampson was pushed to the right, pushed to the left.
Timeout.
He made a
Call
great
timeout.
shot up front. And if he would have won that
First timeout.
point about
1 minute.
6 shots ago, this crowd would have just completely erupted because, like you
7
said, they have this
75.
expectation that Sampson is the #1 player in the world, even though Santos is
Yeah.
currently holding that spot.
Both of these guys right here are the lead men from their particular counties in California. Both of them from SoCal, but they hail from rival counties.
775.
Juan Santos represents Orange County, which is the #1 rival faction to
Yeah.
Samson Hernandez's LA
No,
County.
Santos is serving.
He comes from LA.
775.
He hails out of Hawthorne,
Oh,
California.
he did. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
And
so it's,
both of these guys
5-7. Yeah, you're right.
are the lead men. So, 1 second here. Is this a timeout right here?
20
Is a timeout
seconds,
called right
guys.
here?
Yeah, there is a timeout.
All right. So,
5-7.
this is a great thing. Both of these counties feed off each other. The rivalry makes them all better from the top to the bottom, basically
Okay,
like the
time's
trickle-down
in.
economics, or this be trickle-down
5-7-7.
handball economics. Orange County and LA County, great shot right there.
That's
Make
a-
each other better in this rivalry that they have with each other.
That's a momentum changer right there,
6
too.
serving
Side
7.
out. Sampson gets that 5th point and then comes back, gets a quick 2nd point there to make it 6-7.
Great play by Juan Santos.
Both of these guys know how to run backwards and still maintain control, Izzy.
Yeah. Samson right now has great position right now. There you go. Look for him to finish it off with the left. I thought he was going to hit a side shot down the right corner right there. So I was
7
just
serving
the
7.
same.
Sampson has all the momentum right now.
Great play.
Oh, nice shot right
Juan
there, and it goes
Santos.
out
Oh, it's
just
out.
a tad over the line.
Well,
but that was
that's one of the things the fans were talking about. Based on the size dimensions, in his court where he came from, that would have easily been in by about 5 or 6 feet.
8 serving 7.
They say this takes away the lob aspect of his game. Great
well. Also,
play.
it's a 16-foot front wall, so some of these guys have taller front walls,
Timeout.
and they can go higher
Second
up,
timeout,
not
1
necessarily lobbing further, but
Yeah.
trying to get the ball over the head a little bit more. Here with just 16
9
feet, it
serving
makes it a
7.
little rough.
Yeah.
Now that's New York one wall dimensions.
Yeah, that is. Basically, when you have a longer long line, you would prefer, mathematically, the walls should be higher because you take generally a position of half court. Right here, I think the short line should be about 20 feet away from the front wall. And you want to be about halfway because you never want to get lobbed. And when you have a shorter, how do you say it, wall on the front, 16 feet high, that would be too short
30
for a
seconds.
40-foot line, for a 40-foot long line. So you're right about that. Generally, when you have a 40-foot long line, you should have a 20-foot wall. So this
Okay,
one is
time's
about
in.
basically 4-wall size wall. This is about
9
4
serving
feet
7.
too short for these court dimensions.
Score here is 9-7. We're back in. This is the 2nd game. Santos wins the 1st one, 15-10.
Great play. Samson has control right there and finishes it off. Great execution.
Sampson now at 10-7, making a
10 serving
nice
7.
little run here, a 5-point run, in fact. 5 unanswered.
Great shot.
Make
Great
that
play
6.
right there. Yep. It looks like he's found Juan Santos left, and he's waiting
11
for it to fall
serving
into
7.
his right so he can take control.
A different type of calmness with Sampson right now.
Yeah, there you go. See, oh, wait a minute.
Now let's remember this. At 11-7, he could have brought this to 12. He had a completely open lane up there. He did not have to be as close as he tried to go
Yeah.
either.
He tried to be
8
too
serving
accurate
11.
with the shot. He overdid it, and he miscued on that. But he feels, I could see that he feels he has the game in play. In his mind, he knows what he wants to do. He wants to attack Santos' left and just let it fall back into his right.
9
and just
serving
close it
11.
out.
Score is 9 serves 11.
Great play. There we go. He's, oh, nice.
Out.
Oh, great attempt by Juan Santos right there.
Juan would have kept that ball in, we would be at 10-11. Samson Hernandez, I believe, is going to call a timeout here. I thought I saw him give the timeout signal to the referee, but
you know, I love rally
12,
scoring.
serving
But in a
9.
final game like this, where the final match is all by itself on the final day of the tournament, I'd rather have the score go up to 100. I never want it to end.
yeah, I know.
Hold on. 13,
Yeah,
serving 9.
it's so true. Sometimes it's a little too quick, but we had some people complaining that they didn't like the rally score because they said they thought it was too quick, but the match was still an hour long. I mean,
Yeah.
how do you want it to be 2.5 hours per match?
Game
Yeah,
point,
I mean-
serving 9.
Here we go. Game point serves 9 to
Let's
force a
see if we can pull
tiebreaker.
this out. If anyone can make the comeback, Juan Santos can.
Well, so could Samson if he was in that position. We've seen it many times. Nice shot right there.
Great shot, and we're going to go to a tiebreaker.
And that's the Samson Hernandez, Edgar Oliver left front wall stiletto kill that forces the tiebreaker. We're going to be back in just a bit. You're watching the World 3-Wall Ball Outdoor Handball Championships. This is the Players' Cup, streaming live at racefor8.com. For Izzy Rivera, I'm Dave Vincent. Stick around. We'll be back next.
All right, see you in a few.
Samson serving first, that's third game because he scored more points. Just have 2 minutes left. You ready? Hold on.
And
Okay,
we are back
tiebreaker to
live here
15
for game number
points.
3. The winner of this one to 15
0-7-0.
will win the Players' Cup Championship.
Yeah, this game right here is for all the marbles. This has more meaning than everything else in the entire event right now. This is a big moment, and I can sense that they know it right now. They're both playing with kind of a haste. You can see the adrenaline rush in them right now.
Samson Hernandez
serving
puts on
0.
that familiar red shirt that he wears on the finals day, a la Tiger Woods on Sunday.
Okay, I see the name on the back.
He only brings it out
Oh,
in the finals, and he gets that
great
amazing
play.
shot right there,
Great
laying on the
athleticism.
pavement.
He goes down. Samson is nimble, very cat-like, and I don't know, it's hard to keep the ball past him.
2 serving 0.
Oh, okay. Samson talking to himself, psyching himself out right now. He's really feeling the flow. Look for him to use that energy constructively. He doesn't fall, he doesn't crack, he doesn't get lost in the adrenaline rush at all. He uses it in a positive way.
3 serving 0.
You know, we're talking about the rivalry here between these two, where Juan Santos is trying to take that crown away, and Samson said, hey, I'm still young and this is still mine. But what we're forgetting to talk about,
Over.
ooh, that's close to one of those avoidable type calls, but what we're forgetting to talk about is it's OC versus LA once again, and that's why you're seeing this division in the crowd. You have a lot of LA guys over here on the right side. You got a lot of the OC guys up in the stands.
Three
Yeah,
serving
they
0.
have two opposing factions here. They're very passionate about the rivalry. Both camps have great legendary players from those factions.
Hold up, sorry.
And to this day, the rivalry stands. I'm not sure if that was a ref error right there or if that was a call from a ball on court.
He called it before the shot was made.
Nobody wants to stop in the action right there. That was a great rally.
Who was serving that? You were serving that. Play it over.
They're doing it over. Yeah, they're doing it over. Juan Santos is not happy with that at all.
Well, he did call over before the ball was struck because, as you would call a safety hold, like these guys are going to run into each other, hold it, and then, of course, Santos made that unbelievable shot.
3 serving 0.
While the referee's standing, he's confident with his call.
He's from El Paso, Texas. He's not part of the OCLA rivalry. So he's about as unbiased as you could possibly get.
Yeah.
That's Omar Santa
1 serving
Ana,
3.
legendary handball player from the Southwest.
Okay. Great shot. Great.
And then finally Santos is able to get that point that he should have got 2 times in a row.
Now. Yeah, Juan Santos, he doesn't hit the ball as hard as Samson, but something
2
about
serving
his
3.
almost casual, laid-back swing keeps him in the game. It actually makes you plant your feet for a lot longer. Great shot, even in the score right now. But when he makes a shot, it dies out on the front wall, pushing you to the front, leaving you open for a lob or a pass. There you go. Basically a few touch shots, easy touch shots without exerting much force or energy.
There is a timeout called here on the court. We will stay right here in the booth as we capture images of this large crowd that we have here. I like to look at that front wall camera looking back toward
It's 4-3.
the crowd. It gives you a little glimpse. Of course, it kind of has a gray look because the backdrop, we have an overcast here, but look at that.
Santos.
Yeah, great.
Group
the
of
crowd
players
is really
all
passionate, really into the game right now. I'm pretty sure just the same, they don't want this to end. I'm pretty sure they want another match. 2 or 3 matches out of this. These guys are both energetic. They have a lot of stamina, and they won't be any worse for the wear after this game. They could probably do it again. But unfortunately, everything has to end, and this is like a dream come true to have these 2 leaders of the warring factions right now go at it right now. So
okay, you guys ready?
great.
Time in.
It's a 1-point difference. It's still
Scores
exciting.
4,
I
serving
expect it to
3.
be like that to the final point.
Nice serve right there from Santos.
Great play by Juan Santos. You know what? He's really taken to the one-wall serve aspect. Nobody expected him to do as well as he's done without a 2-wall serve.
Look how he goes down the line with that control, Izzy.
Great shift position that he just did. But that shot was a little weak. Samson was able to outrun that. And,
Juan thought he was screened there, but that ball kind of hopped back. Maybe hit a bad bounce.
Great shot, great 2-wall shot right there, side front by Samson.
That's another 2 points for Samson Hernandez as he gets that side out, which is a point. Now another one.
Okay, 5
coming
all,
in.
like I said.
5 serving 5.
Just like on paper,
Hold
these
up,
guys.
hold up.
On paper, these guys are pretty much neck and neck. Juan Santos is expected to
5
be
serving 5.
the player that, I don't want to say replaces Samson as the #1 guy, but kind of joins up with him as a
5 serving 5.
as an equal rival. And the real-life expectations are holding up to that standard that everybody places on paper. Great shot by Samson right there. Running down the right, shooting it to the right. Pretty difficult shot to do. And he takes position. His body position actually blocks out Santos from even taking his first step at that shot.
6 serving 5.
Oh, that ball was
Samson.
a tough one right there. Handcuffs Ibanez as he goes over to the right sidewall.
Yeah, what Samson does on that overhand left right there is he does a slice chop.
7 serving
So
5.
the ball actually straightens out. By the time when it goes to the right, instead of taking an angle, it'll just straighten out. Great shot once again. But Juan Santos is all over that. Looks like Juan is trying to get a little bit of a breather going after the
6
ball
serving
right there.
7.
Very nice, relaxed serve right there. He's looking for easy setups. Oh, great play. Samson really heavy-handed. He knows how to pack the power into a very short jab of a swing. Great play out the back door.
8, serving 6.
Score here now 8-6.
Now Samson using very relaxed serve just the same. Great rally right now. Great rally. Right down the line. Wow. Unbelievable. Look at the athleticism right now. Great
Oh, and
play.
Santos hits it in the ground,
Right
floors
now.
it. And a timeout called from Samson Hernandez.
Yeah, Samson, he can grind it out. His athleticism
Second timeout.
is at the top of the charts. There's very few that can rival him in that area right there between the stamina and that athleticism. He's very nimble, he's very agile, and he can hold a rally over and over, back-to-back, non-stop until the game finishes, until the last final point.
Now, what do you think about this outdoor game where the rules are bent just a little bit when it comes to the players playing on the court and fans rushing on like you saw
9-6.
last night to pump up their player?
9-6.
You find that exciting, or is there kind of a thin line that you don't want to cross it? Because, I mean, there's no other sport that really has a lot of that going on.
Yeah, well, you know what? This is not every other sport. This is our sport. This is our thing. And where you may not have that in other sports, what this does is this puts our sport in a position where the fans and the athletes can become bonded as one on the court. And actually, it just makes for great TV when you see them running out there and picking them up and pumping them up and cheering them on and stuff like that. You may not see that all the time, but I don't think any line has been crossed with regards to safety or anything like that. But I think it makes for great TV, actually.
Hopefully, after this match concludes, we will have one of the pro players in this booth.
Samson taking a defining lead right now.
With an interview.
Great play by Juan Santos. Things are getting tight now. They're past the halfway point in the game.
7, serving 10.
I can sense the sense of urgency right now in Samson's face. You know, you can really read his emotions when you look at his face. He wears his heart on his sleeve right there. You see that? He's got a real gesture, fist pumping action. But, I mean, he really, when he gets into it, you can see exactly what's happening. You know what he's thinking about. You know how he's feeling. And when he's in the game right there, you can trust him to use his emotions to the best of his degree.
Well, Samson knows how to pump himself up, but
11,
Juan Santos knows how to
7.
handle it.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is Juan Santos is cool as
11, 7.
ice.
Sorry.
I mean, everybody is
11,
just
serving
amazed
7.
at his composure. You know, he wins a tournament, you'd never even know he won it.
I'll tell you what type of nice guy Santos is. The referee called the wrong score that would have actually.
Great play by Juan Santos, bridging the gap between the two.
He said 11-6 is what the scorekeeper said, and that's why Santos looked back and said, no, 7.
8, serving
He's
11.
such a nice guy.
Yeah,
a lot of us
is,
chirp at the referee and get that angry face.
Yeah.
I speak for myself, of course.
I mean, he didn't let it phase him for a second. He was honest, and you can't expect any less from a guy like this. He deserves to be where he is right now. I mean, his composure is part of the aspect of his game
serving
that gets
11.
him to this successful level right now. Great play out the back door. Very elegant, not too much power exerted on that swing.
But even with all that momentum that Samson Hernandez has, it's just 10-11 with Santos serving.
Yeah, like
10,
I said,
11.
It doesn't matter the gap that's happening between them. You can trust for both of these guys to fill that gap if need be. There you go. Take, for instance, that. Now we have 11 all. And I expected no less from that. Both of these guys are true athletes, true champions.
11, serving
and
11.
They don't crack or buckle for any reason at all. Great play by Juan Santos.
Timeout.
Down the right wall.
Second timeout, 1 minute.
Samson misread that, thought it was going out the
12,
back door.
12-11. 12-11.
They're calling a timeout right now. Santos leading at 12-11. The last third of the game right now. The sense of urgency is going to really show. I think that's why he's taking the timeout. I'm taking a look at him right there. He looks like he's going to not only take a breather, but to get himself together mentally. While Juan Santos just looks cool. You really can't see his expressions, but he always looks cool as ice.
Yeah, I mean, even at his 8th grade prom, which wasn't too many years ago, he has the same expression.
Yeah,
but these guys aren't tired. I mean, you and I both know that it is physically draining, but
30
they're not
seconds.
even thinking about that. They're going to break a leg if they have to
Yeah.
get the next shot. They're not tired. It's more of a mental tired.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
to try to lift up your game to get to that level, that one little
10 seconds.
Yeah.
that space that you've been to a few
Okay,
times, and
time's
that's what
in.
Samson is trying to do,
12 serving
trying
11.
to tap back into it.
Yeah.
That fist pump, looking at the crowd, chirping, yelling at himself.
There he goes.
That's a
with
huge
that
setup.
shot. Yes, it was. See that? He clipped the sidewall and brought Santos back in the game, though. Great playing right there.
Little power right there, and it's going to be called
that an
over.
right there. Yeah. Replay on that. Samson knows better to keep moving out of the way of that ball. He did that akin to something of a one-wall player's style, which a lot of us have actually done in this event right here and got called out on it and
Scores
replayed.
12, serving 11.
12-11, Santos leading right now. Great serve and easy setup right there. I saw that coming.
Now Santos at 13 to
Very
11.
efficiently. You see, he doesn't have to exert as much energy as Samson does to get his point proven.
13-11. Serving 11.
Oh, and that's a terrible miss hit right there from Samson Hernandez. What happened?
I don't know. It looks like he's got the. I don't know. He's unhappy with it. I think it was just generally a miscue.
Here it is. This is for the Players
Match point,
Cup
serving
Championship,
11.
and you watch what this crowd does if Santos scores this final point. Oh, and he doesn't, and it's now 12 to 14.
Yeah, well, you know what you can expect right here is that Samson Hernandez can make the comeback.
12
He's done it
serving.
before during the rally scoring,
Timeout.
and I
Time
look
out.
for no less than
Last
him to be
timeout,
able to at
Samson.
least match the score of 14-14.
12-14.
Well, we've seen Samson Hernandez come back from
12-14.
huge deficits before. Can he do it again?
This is a great match right here. It's a nail biter.
The crowd is starting to talk.
Timeout.
The players are just doing their own thing. Juan Santos is just circling the court. Samson walks over off the court.
This is a serious moment right now for Samson. He's trailing by 2, knowing that if he makes one error, one hand error, or
30
loses
seconds.
court control, that'll cost him the entire event at this point.
The side out will result in a win for Juan Santos,
Yeah.
and this crowd will completely erupt.
Yeah, right now it's all or nothing for Samson.
10 seconds.
There's no more room for error right now. Everything, strategy, hand errors, they have to
Okay,
all
time's
come into
in.
play on his behalf.
12, serving 14.
Oh, and
shot
now
out
it's
the
another
back
point
door.
for Samson Hernandez.
All right. Santos not looking happy about what just happened.
13, serving 14.
It's 13 to 14. Oh, that ball was almost out.
Oh, great rally.
This could be it. This could be it, and it is.
Unbelievable.
Juan Santos.
the #1 player in the world in the big ball outdoor division right now. In the warring factions between the two counties, I guess you could say OC took first place over Los Angeles.
Unbelievable
Great playing.
play right there from Juan Santos. He cuts that ball with his right hand, and that cut is what kept it into the court
there's
instead of
some
going
kind
off that
slice
sidewall.
action or chop action. Juan Santos doing a great job. He's earned every minute of it. He's been calm, he's been cool, he's been collected, and this is showing the fruits of his labor.
Juan is immediately coming into our booth right here, and he's going to have a little talk with us, a little chat. Juan, congratulations once again.
Congratulations.
For another win. You've been in the finals multiple times. You are the Players' Cup champion for 2012. Your fans are just waiting to give you another big congratulations and hug. How you feel?
Feels great and tired at the same time. It was a really tough match. I had to catch my breath.
What were you thinking about when you took the lead at 12, 11, 10, 11, 10? Were you thinking that you were confident in the game? Were you feeling was the mental momentum on your side? Or
Yeah,
were you,
it was.
Yeah, I see you
Felt
trying to.
confident.
Yeah, I see you were trying to be more relaxed on your serves. You normally use 2-wall serves. You were more relaxed, getting easy setups like that. Were you practicing 1-wall serves before you came to Vegas?
No, actually not. I didn't even practice because of school, so I didn't really have time. I just play once a week or whenever I have time.
Okay.
Now, we talked about this, Izzy and I did while you were playing. There's this perception that even though you were ranked #1, I would hear a player say, who's this Samson Hernandez? Oh, he's the best player in Southern California. I know that has to get to you, knowing that, you know, you're not trying to prove it because you already have. But do you think that this will take that monkey off the back just a little bit, where from now on we actually introduce you as the #1 player in big ball?
Well, I would hope so. Well, I mean, Samson's a great player. I think if I'm not #1, he should be #1. Mm.
Well, you're #1 now.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
win the cup. This player's cup weighs 30 pounds, and I'm not sure you're going to be able to pick it up or not, but I want you to just feel that. Feel that.
Heavy.
How does that feel?
Feels great.
What are your thoughts about winning that trophy and your thoughts about
What was
this?
the question?
What are your thoughts about winning that trophy and also the thoughts about this organization, what Ashley Moeller has done with the WPH?
No, I mean, I feel it's great that you guys support the sport, help us get more tournaments around, more money, more competition from other places. So I really appreciate it from you guys. It's great.
Well, we appreciate what you've done. You've actually come out and supported every single one of our events. You were there in day #1 when you won the first one, and at that time you were, as I was telling everybody back home, 17 years old when you started this mess, and then you finish it as an 18-year-old still in high school. Yeah, I know you've been focusing on school and your post-high school career, and handball is almost secondary.
Yeah, it is.
And even though it isn't so with a lot of these other players, how do you find balance between home, school, and then handball?
Well, I just try to manage my time. Just when I try to do my homework so I can have time to go to practice a few hours or go play with some good players.
So you're talking about doing homework,
Yeah.
and you're holding on to this?
Yeah.
You have a ton of fans out here waiting to talk to you and to get your picture and shake your hand. Do you have anything you'd like to say to those that come out and support you from the OC and from all other places?
I just want to thank them for supporting me, for trusting me that I could win. Thank you.
All right, congratulations. I'll take that microphone away from you.
Congratulations,
Samson
Juan
Hernandez
Santos.
loses to Juan Santos. He
#1
is the
player in
Players' Cup
world,
champion.
big ball,
There he is.
multi-ball handball right here.
He's exiting the broadcast booth. Congratulations out to Juan Abanez Santos,
Well,
taking down.
he has 2 titles actually now. Now he is the WPH Pro Champion, and he is the #1 player in the world, and will be introduced as that next year when the start of the next pro season.
It's unbelievable what's going on outside the court as they mob him. I'll try to turn my GoPro camera around so you can see him if it's a better camera angle than the one that you're getting outside. That's Juan Santos as he is being mobbed by the crowd here.
Yeah, see what he did in this event here was not just win the event, but he erased all thoughts about who is the best. You see, those things are separated in events. You can win an event, you can beat the best, but they don't generally consider you the best. You just had a great moment, you're a great player. But what he did here with this entire Pro Series is not only prove that he can win the event, but now he can be called the absolute best.
Well, today has been a great celebration as we catch Juan Santos here live, courtside, getting his picture taken. Juan Santos is now in part of the award ceremony as he's being looked at by the crowd here, and I don't believe that trophy is going to last too long on that chair.
I think the chair will fall apart first. The trophy looks so heavy.
I'm sorry, I had to take a
The crowd literally mobbing him. Getting
multifaceted
pictures.
here. He put the trophy down. It was teetering on the edge of a chair. So Juan Santos takes the Players' Cup championship. We are going to say goodbye for today. That is the grand finale of this tournament. I want to thank everybody that has done what they have to help us run this three-wall ball organization.
Big thanks to Ashley Moeller for putting in the time, the effort that she did to help run the event, direct the event, and the WPH staff and crew. It was great. Love the broadcast. We look forward to the next Vegas event next year, as well as everything else the outdoor pro season is going to have to offer.
Big congratulations to Mike Coulter and three-wall ball, as well as Hank Marcus with World Outdoor Racquetball. Ashley Moeller, as you named earlier. Linda Manning in the broadcast van. with her work that she has done engineering this live broadcast. Of course, Ben Garad, Richie Estrella, which was a camera operator for us, and then the help from Izzy Rivera here in the broadcast booth, amongst others. Izzy, it was nice having you.
It was great. It was an honor. It was a privilege. Hope to do it again one day. Just a pleasure to be here. And I want to say thanks, Linda. I know you're out there listening in the broadcast booth or whatever that is. She did a great job with the replays. I was really surprised at that. But congratulations, big ups on that, you know.
Okay, we're going to say goodbye. Thanks for tuning in. This concludes the broadcast day. It was Juan Santos in a tiebreaker defeating Samson Hernandez.
See you all
have a good day.
See you all next year. All right.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Zions, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
For 20 years, the Inner City Handball Association has educated, mentored, and served young people through handball. Young people that participate in the Inner City Handball Association programs have a high graduation rate from high school and continue on to college. Inner City Handball teams are good athletes, good students, and good ambassadors for the sport of handball. We need your help to continue our work. Inner City Handball Association is a registered 501c3 tax-exempt charity. Please donate today. Thank you.